Well, activist Sasha Johnson has been shot, and everyone is playing Cluedo.
You're crazy. Am I? Yes. Am I? Yes. Am I?
So in the early hours of Sunday morning, this happened.
This is Sasha Johnson, a prominent anti-racism campaigner. She's fighting for her life in hospital after reportedly being shot in the head.
And since then, social media has been all abuzz as into which group the perpetrator comes from.
I want to suggest that this crime was committed in the study by Mrs. White with the lead pipe.
The police have not made any confirmation as to who the suspect was, and they've not confirmed whether it was a death threat from, let's say, a organisation that is anti-BLM, and they've not confirmed whether it was a gang crime related incident either.
While the investigation is at an early stage, there is nothing to suggest the woman who was shot was the subject of a targeted attack, or that she had received any credible threats against her prior to this incident.
And it has kind of been supported by a friend of hers or a colleague of Sasha's.
And it was wrong place, wrong time. I do not believe that she was the target.
Now, it's no big secret that Sasha Johnson has had a lot of vitriol from, let's say, the anti-BLM group, or groups of people or sets of people, right? And it's no surprise that they wouldn't be eager to see the back of her, so to speak.
Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Hey, goodbye.
However, due to the circumstances and time at which she got shot, it does suggest otherwise, which has left an open door as to people speculating, was it a white supremacist act, or was it that she was involved or the victim of another black on black crime incident.
Metropolitan Police say they are pursuing a number of lines of inquiry.
Now, speculation
is a funny old game.
And a comment that caught my eye was one of some guy that posted, well, we know that it was a black person that shot her, because if it was a white person that did it, the media would have plastered him and exposed him or her all over the place. And this kind of like raised an eyebrow for me, because when it comes to representation by the media of crime, black people tend to have that locked down, yeah, almost to the point where it seems as if, you know, it's something that black people enjoy doing.
I'm starting to think black people like crime. That's what I'm starting to think. Is that the only way they can deal with it? Black people like crime.
And when it comes to crime, whether it's knife crime, gun crime, burglary, etc., yeah, when it comes to the mainstream media and social media aspects, you'll always tend to find that there's an image to go with that picture, or that crime, should I say. So, for example, a black person gets shot or stabbed, you know, the perpetrator is plastered right next to the story headlines, you know what I'm saying? Right? So, for me, that claim there, I would tend to lean the other way on that. But to be honest, under the circumstances, the odds of this action being performed by someone from the black community is quite high, yeah. And this is where I would say that optics come to play. And what I mean by the optics coming into play, it reminds me of the story that I did not too long ago of Jimmy, in which I proposed the idea that, well, you know, when the representation of a person or a group of people, you know, two white people being saved and the black person not being saved, it don't look good, you know what I mean? Right, so the optics of this situation now, right, kind of leads on to irony, and that being the word of the day, in which a lot of people, especially those from the anti-BLM group, have pounced on this story, in their comments especially, and pointed out, well, see, black people, Black Lives Matter, oh, okay then, Black Lives don't matter to Sasha Johnson, etc., so forth and so on. Now, to be honest, when I first saw the story, I thought to myself,
what the hell is this?
Because the ramifications of this incident undermines what she stood for and the movement of Black Lives Matter and the plight of the boots on the ground black people. Yeah, because what you'll find is that this gives other people or the naysayers ammunition in which they can use to, let's say, what can I say? They can use to bring up the old trope of black on black crime.
Perpetrators and the victims appear to be almost exclusively young black men,
in which judgments of the black plight can be made, and then the black plight can be discarded because of what they would say the issue is from within and not from without, if you know what I'm saying. Now, for me personally, this issue should not be used as a way to dismantle the plight of black people, in the sense that just because it is more than likely, and I kind of say that lightly, that it was maybe another black person that was involved in her shooting, that doesn't mean that we can automatically now discard the what I could say institutional racism and things of such nature, which I think this is what is going to happen. Because as soon as someone brings it up, what you'll find is people will say, well, tell that to Sasha Johnson. You know what I mean? Someone has a grievance about a specific case and they'll just bring up, well, tell that to Sasha Johnson. You know what I mean? But anyway, right, it's early days. It's early days, and not a lot of information, as the making of this video, not a lot of information has come out as to who, what, why and where, right? So I'm just putting it out there, in my opinion, based on the comments that I've seen, how people are using this as a tool or as a weapon to say, well, Black Lives Matter don't mean nothing and we're right in judging black people. Whoa. Now, whilst I was editing this video, a story had arisen in which states that the shooting of Sasha Johnson was a targeted attack.
From our inquiry so far, we've established that Sasha had been at a party at a house in Consort Road in Peckham early on Sunday morning. At around 3 a.m, a group of young black men dressed in dark clothing entered the garden of the property and discharged a firearm.
Now, for me, this raises more questions than it answers. Yeah, because as it does show that it was 4 black people that had attacked her, in which I was not denying, but I was kind of skeptical, to be honest. Yeah, and I was kind of crossed my fingers hoping it wasn't. I'm not going to deny the truth. But as I said, this asks more questions than it does answer. Because now it asks the question is, why was she attacked? And it now becomes kind of apparent to me that it was not because of what she stood for, but it seems to be more of one or two things. One could be it was a domestic affair or something that she got involved with, and it was retaliation for that outside of what she believed in. But then my tinfoil hat kind of kicked in.
Okay, there we go.
And when I say my tinfoil hat kicked in,
our thoughts are with the family of Sasha Johnson, who are being supported by specially trained officers. A dedicated team of officers and detectives are looking to find out who is responsible for this incident.
What I can say is this. It's not unusual by any means at all that black people or certain black people will get themselves out of a situation by doing things untowards towards other black people, if you know what I'm saying.
I've met people who will throw me under the bus, I kid you not, for a 10-piece chicken McNugget from Burger King.
And when I kind of think about the story as it unfolded over the last 2 days or 3 days, yeah, and the circumstances and the benefits for other groups to have this story as a headline.
Let's look at these corporations out here. They are literally throwing some of y'all's lives under the bus.
It made me start to think, well, could it possibly be, and I'm saying possibly be because like I said, speculation is a funny thing, that these guys that went in and did what they did it for their own benefit of getting off another case, and they did it on behalf of the system itself. Yeah, because we all know, like we've said, that she's an enemy of the state.
You're a threat now, just like I was. Threat to whom? To them?
And knowing that she's going to be at a party or where she's going to be vulnerable, something like this could happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm just putting that out there. Right? But like I said, speculation, tinfoil hat, so forth and so on. Right? But let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.
Yes. Am I? Yes. Am I? Yes.